Hi guys, it's Prince from GG and Prince with another deck profile. Today we've got a Dragon Link deck with some bestial twist to it. So Dragon Link has been a pretty competitive deck for the past few years. I think a variant of it actually won the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships last year in 2023. So this was my take on it. You'll probably see a lot of overlap with some of the topping Dragon Link decks out there, but the Bestials in particular, obviously they're dragons and they're big, special summonable bodies that really help extend your plays. To get into your higher link rating dragon boss monsters. So to start off the monsters, we're playing, of course, 2 copies of Rokket Tracer. This is one of your main starters. He has a pretty great effect that you can target any face-up card you control, destroy it, and special summon another Rokket monster from your deck. He's also a level 4 tuner, so this helps get into some of your synchro plays. Of course, this is a Dragon Link deck, but there are some pretty powerful synchro boss monsters that you can make in this deck that help, both protect your cards as well as disrupt your opponent's plays. We're also playing 1 copy of Rokket Caliber, just to get more Rokket names in the deck. He's also another level 4 tuner, so again, that helps for some of your synchro plays. We're then playing 1 copy of Rokket Recharger and 1 copy of Exploderokket Dragons to round out the Rokket monsters. So of course, these are both special summonable off of the effect of Rokket Tracer, and can also be summoned from your hand if you end up drawing them with Boot Sector Launch or a field spell. Rokket Recharger in particular has a pretty nice effect that if an extra deck dark monster is destroyed, you can target a different dark monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So you'll see later on with some of the link cards that we have, there's some pretty cool combinations you can pull off with this card to help get more bodies on the field. We're playing 1 copy of Absorouter Dragon. This is one of the cards you're going to want to mill out of your deck. Whenever it's sent to the graveyard from anywhere, you can add a Rokket monster from your deck to your hand. So depending on which of the pieces you're missing, this can help get that into your hand. Usually you're going to end up getting Rokket Tracer, and if you already have it, then probably Rokket Recharger. For some more starters, we're playing 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. So this card is great. It's a non-once per turn search. So whenever it goes from sent to the graveyard from the field, you can add a Red Eyes monster or any Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. So your primary target for this is going to be Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which is a special summonable dragon, of course, and can also bring back another dragon monster, as we'll see shortly. Probably in a week or 2, I'll be doing another variant of this Dragon Link deck that actually has even more Red Eyes cards in it, so it's more of a burn variant, and this card is actually even more useful in that variant, so stay tuned. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Starliege Seyfert. This is another great starter. Whenever you can activate his effect to send any number of dragon monsters from your hand or field, and whatever the total levels of those sent monsters were, you can then add a dragon monster with that same level from deck to hand. So it helps get rid of some dead cards in your hand if that happens, although this deck does have a lot of gas, so it's pretty rare. But mainly it helps you get to any combo piece that you're missing. Next, we're playing the pair of Chaos Dragons, 1 white dragon Wyverburster and 1 black dragon Collapserpent. These you can banish either a dark or a light monster respectively from your graveyard to special summon them. And if they leave the field and get sent to the graveyard, you can add the other from deck to hand. So for example, if you link away your white dragon, you can add a black dragon from deck to hand, and vice versa. So it helps extend your plays and also, of course, get more bodies in the field to link climb into your boss monsters. I mentioned him earlier, but we are playing 1 copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. He is special summonable by banishing any face-up dragon monster you control. His effect is actually pretty great, where you can target any dragon monster in your hand or graveyard and special summon it. So this, of course, helps get you more bodies in the field. For some more special summonable dragons, we're playing 1 Chaos Dragon Levianeer. You can banish any number of light or dark monsters. 3 light or dark monsters, and depending what combination of light or dark monsters you banish to summon him, you can either summon another monster from your graveyard, bounce a card from your opponent's hand into the deck, or destroy up to 2 cards on the field non-targeting. So has some pretty good effects there, but more importantly, he's a special summonable dragon monster, 3000 attack too, so pretty beefy. We're also playing one copy of Noctovision Dragon. So whenever you special summon a dark dragon monster to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand, so it's a free body. Also, if he's used as link material, you can draw a card, so it helps maintain card advantage. For the Bystial package, we're playing 3 copies of the Bystial Lubellion, a very important starter. Helps add whatever Bystial monster you want from deck to hand. It also has a pretty great effect that can place one of your branded continuous spells or traps directly from your deck face up. So that dodges Ash Blossom because you're not actually adding a card to your hand, you're directly placing it face up. And Branded Regained, which we'll get to in the spells, is one of the key cards for this deck, and because you're doing a lot of banishing to special summon your own monsters, and Branded Regained helps you recycle those banished cards and also draw cards off of that. We're also playing 2 copies of Bystial Druiswurm. This card is great. Again, special summonable monster. Also, if is sent from field to graveyard, including as link material, you can send one of your opponent's monsters, so pretty good removal. We're also playing 2 copies of Bystial Saronir. This is to help siege your graveyard with Bystials for Branded Regained's other effect, or also to dump when your continuous spells or traps from deck to grave, so then you can use Branded Beast to get those back on the field. Lastly, for the Bystials, we're playing one Magnamhut. Sadly, he's limited to 1, but great card to have. You can add a dragon to your hand from the end phase whenever you special summon him. Usually it's going to end up being Druiswurm, so you have another form of disruption on your opponent's turn, but you can really add whatever dragon you want. For the hand traps, we're playing 2 copies of Ash Blossom. No explanation needed here. It's a great card. Depending on what decks you're up against, you could replace this with Droll and Lockbird, Ghost Bell. There's a lot of possibilities here. We're also playing 3 copies of Effect Veiler. So the reason I opted for Effect Veiler over Infinite Impermanence is it's a light monster that you can send to the graveyard on your opponent's turn to disrupt. So say you're playing against a fire deck or a water deck or a deck that doesn't have very many dark or light monsters, that makes it hard for you to get material to special summon your Bystials. But if you have him in the graveyard, you can banish him to summon one of your Bystials. So it kind of is a 2-in-1 card where it acts as an imperm effectively, but also as a summon material for your Bystials. That does it for the monsters. On to the spells. To start off the spells, we're playing 3 copies of Quick Launch. Again, the heart and soul of this deck is the Rokket monsters, so really want to get as many of them on the field and or graveyard as quickly as possible, because they really enable your link climbing into your boss monsters. So Quick Launch allows you to special summon a Rokket monster from your deck, so pretty self-explanatory. It's also a quick play, so you can chain it to other cards. We're playing 1 copy of Chaos Space. This is also a very helpful card since it allows you to send a potentially dead card in your hand. So any light or dark monster that's in your hand, you can send it to the graveyard and add a light or dark monster with the same level but different attribute to your hand. So for example, you could send for example your Chaos Dragon Levianeer and add a Lubellion. A lot of options with this card. Importantly, it has a pretty great graveyard effect where you can banish this card and then take one of your banished light or dark monsters and put it on the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So again, it helps maintain card advantage. We're playing 1 copy of Boot Sector Launch. You're going to add this off of your Striker Dragon summon. This is the first field spell you want to go into. It allows you to special summon up to 2 Rokket monsters from your hand. So, again, material for link climbing. We're also playing 1 copy of Dragon Ravine. So this card's effect is you can discard a card and send a dragon monster from deck to graveyard. So one option is Saronir. Another option, which is probably what you're going to be doing, is sending your Absorouter Dragon, as that lets you add a Rokket monster from deck to hand. Now, I've mentioned this next card a bunch of times. It's very important in this deck. So important they've actually played 2. In most branded builds, you actually only play 1 of this card, but this actually has it's even more powerful in this Dragon Link deck than in your typical branded deck. Since you are playing several Bystials, whenever your opponent special summons or normal summons a monster, you can summon a Bystial from your graveyard, so you can keep recycling a Druiswurm, for example. And then, of course, the first effect, if a Light or Dark monster is banished, you can put that banished monster in the bottom of the deck and draw a card. That is very useful, given how much banishing we might be doing to special summon our monsters. For some more draw power, we're playing Triple Tactics Talent. You can also use this to help break your opponent's board by stealing one of their monsters, but more often than not, you're going to be using this to draw 2 to just get more gas. To help enable some more of your starters, we're playing one for one, so this helps special summon your Black Metal Dragon straight from your deck. One Monster Reborn, so if you end up hitting a wall, your opponent has Nibiru'd you, or has happened to open up with multiple hand traps, this helps aid in your recovery and just extend some of your plays by getting back monsters from your graveyard that otherwise would be unrecoverable. To round out the spells, you're playing one copy of Called by the Grave to protect your plays from hand traps, and one copy of Harpie's Feather Duster to help deal with back row. That does it for the spells. On to the traps. So we're actually only playing one trap in this deck, and it's Branded Beast. So your Lubellion can place this face up directly from your deck. The effect of this is also great. You contribute a dragon monster and pop one of your opponent's cards. It also helps recycle your Branded Regain if it ends up in the graveyard, since in the end phase you can target a Branded Continuous Speller trap and place it face up on your field. So all around pretty good card, because we're playing a lot of Bystials. You could consider playing Imperms in this deck, or maybe even evenly matched as a potential board breaker, but I wanted to keep this deck fairly tight and really focus on the extra deck boss monsters as your real heavy hitters here. So with that, let's move on to the extra deck. So we're going to be starting off with one of your key boss monsters, Borreload Savage Dragon. This card is a level 8 synchro, so it's pretty easy to get into with your one of your Rokket tuners and any other level 4. It is an Omni Negate, so whenever you special summon him, you can equip him with a Link monster in your graveyard. It gains attack equal to half that Link monster's attack, but more importantly, it gains counters equal to that Link monster's rating, and each counter is an Omni Negate. So you can remove a counter and negate any card or effect that your opponent activates once per turn. So very powerful card to have in your end board. We're also playing one Baronne De Fleur. This deck is able to get into Synchro 10s as well with your level 6 Bystials. So, of course, Baronne is an Omni Negate, and once per turn can pop any card on the field. So pretty good to have. We're also playing one Bystial Dis Pater. So this can special summon one of your banished monsters. So again, we do a lot of banishing to summon monsters, and this can help recycle some of those to extend your plays. It also, depending on if your opponent has banished cards or not, can either negate a monster effect or destroy that monster. So overall, very powerful card to have. It's also 3,500, so pretty beefy. Speaking of beefy cards that also pack a good defense, we're playing one copy of Chaos Angel. Again, pretty easy to make in this deck since you have level 4 Rokket tuners and level 6 Bystials. So on summon, you can banish an opponent's card, and you are going to be summoning this usually with all dark monsters, but you may, depending on what you have on the field, you might be able to summon with a light level 4 as well, but has pretty good protection. If you summon with any dark material for its synchro material, it protects all your monsters from being destroyed by battle. So very powerful defensive card, and pretty powerful attack to boot. Of course, this is a Dragon Link deck, so we're playing a bunch of Link monsters. For the Link 1s, we have a Guardragon Pisty and a Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon is your key starter. Whenever he's Link summoned, you can add a Boot Sector Launch from deck to your hand, which is your key field spell to help flood your field with Rokket monsters. And Pisty helps, again, special summon another dragon monster that's either banished or from the grave to a zone that 2 Link monsters point to. So typically what you're going to end up having is Pisty with Triple Burst or some other Link monster that the arrows end up lining up. So you do have a monster zone that Pisty and another Link monster point to. We're playing, for the Link 2s, we're playing a couple of them. We're playing one Dragunity Knight Romulus. This is to help get access to your Dragon Ravine. Or you can add it from deck to hand whenever he's link summoned. We're playing one Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. This is a great disruption card. You can tribute it or tribute any monster from your hand or field to bounce one of your opponent's cards to hand. And if this is tributed, then you can special summon a dragon monster from your hand or deck. So it helps pull out, for example, a Druiswurm is a great target to pull out with this, but you have a lot of options. We're playing one IP Masquerena. Again, this is a lot of, it's pretty easy to get link material in this deck, and IP helps get into your SP Little Knight, which is a great disruption on summon and also during your opponent's turn. We're also playing one Triple Burst Dragon. This is part of the Dragon Link combo to help Link climb up into your Link 5s. So this is actually what you'll probably be equipping to your Borreload Savage Dragon to give it 3 Borreload counters. We're also playing one Access Code Talker. Big boss monster can wipe the field and is comes out at 5300 usually attack, so pretty hard to deal with. We're playing one Borreload Dragon, just for another big body, but also he's untargetable with monster effects. He also can take one of your opponent's monsters during damage step and then send it to the graveyard. So that's pretty powerful. And last but not least, your big boss monster, Borreload Dragon. This card is pretty nuts. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. He cannot be targeted with monster effects. He can attack all of your opponent's monsters once. He has a built-in quick effect monster negate, and that monster negate also lets you summon a rocket monster from your graveyard. So overall, this is really the key boss monster that you want to get into in your end board. Ideally, the way this deck works is you'll end with a Borreload Dragon and either a Synchro 8 or a Synchro 10. So it could be a Baronne, could be a Chaos Angel, could be more commonly a Borreload Savage. But overall, this deck, as you can see, the extra deck is really where it packs a punch. And the main deck has quite a bit of gas and recyclability to help get into these big boss monsters in your extra deck. So that does it for the deck profile. Like I mentioned, I do have a variant of this deck that uses Red Eyes monsters and is more burn oriented. So stay tuned for a future Dragon Link deck profile that features Red Eyes. But that's it for this one. This is Prince from GG and Prince, signing off.